This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. For a while now, months and months and months, I have proclaimed, I have predicted, I have said, I've analyzed it, I have commentated. And my opinion is that Ron DeSantis is in no way ready for prime time, for a national stage. He especially is going to be no match for the venom and vitriol and hatred and extremism that's going to be poured his way by Donald Trump. He's not ready for it. Remember back in 2016 when Marco Rubio thought that he was going to be the one to best Trump on the debate stage and in the arena of public opinion by sinking to the level of Donald Trump, directly going head-to-head, toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and how spectacularly, not miraculously, spectacularly that failed for Lil Marco Rubio, who now is a Trump sycophant, just a boot-licking coward for Donald Trump. That's going to be the same thing with Ron DeSantis, who is not likable, who is not quick on his feet. He is not dynamic. He is a boring dolt of a human being. It's remarkable. What is miraculous is how he's been able to get this far in politics, being just the human snore track that he is. Ron DeSantis. And ABC got a hold of some debate prep footage. And a lot of people are saying some things about this that I don't necessarily agree with, I don't think are important. But there are two things that I believe are important about this footage. We'll just talk about them. One is the fact that all of the people who have any power in the establishment of the Republican Party who were in this room have fled Ron DeSantis, have sided with Donald Trump. And I believe it's two reasons. One is because of his dullness, because of his lack of charisma. I mean, say what you will about Donald Trump. I despise him. I loathe him. I think he is a dangerous demagogue, an autocrat. He's the worst. But he does appeal to the worst nature of Republicans. He does have a charisma about him that does appeal to somebody. And Ron DeSantis just does not. And that's the reason they have fled. The other reason they fled is because of the stranglehold that Donald Trump has over the Republican Party. Even in one of the clips I'm going to play for you here, Matt Gaetz is a big ally in the room with Ron DeSantis, helping him prep for a debate against Andrew Gillum in the 2018 campaign. That seems to be no longer, since Matt Gaetz is now, again, just lapping at the boots of Donald Trump in an effort to be a fascist enabler. Anyway, let's play the clips here. We'll play the first one with Matt Gaetz since I'm talking about him, and then we'll play the second one, and I'll give you the second reason that he's just not ready for prime time.
That you come too hot through the whole thing, and there's
it deserves to be hot. I'm sorry.
You can go there in moments without having it become.
Kavanaugh showed that when you say
Look, I think there.
Sure, the thing is we did such a horrible job of pushing back on all these stupid stories from the beginning that he's gonna rattle off a list.
Yes, he is.
So even Matt Gaetz, who's never met a fascist he didn't like, has bailed on Ron DeSantis. The person who videoed this leaked this footage to the press. He is just unwieldy-ish, whatever. The manner with which, the level at which he is unpopular, even within Republican circles, is unwieldy. How about that? It's a lot of words to say to make sense of the word I was trying to use. So here's the other. And I want you to listen, because at the end of this, someone off camera is telling him to write in all capital letters, likable. You got to be likable. And I don't know about you, but if you're likable, you don't need to remind yourself to act likable. Look, There's lots of times in my life where I am probably less than likable, but generally I think I'm a likable guy. I never have to remind myself with a note pinned to my chest like a first grader, oh, be likable, Jesse. Make sure you're likable. But that's just not the case with Ron DeSantis. He needs a reminder to be likable.
Has the NRA donated to me? I don't think the NRA is quite the boogeyman the Democrats think it is. Do we hit him on guns, or just everyone who cares about guns is going to vote for me?
Is there any issue upon which you disagree with President Trump?
Obviously there is, because I voted contrary to him in the Congress. I have to frame it in a way that's not going to piss off all his voters. And so what I do is I do what I think is right. I support his agenda in terms of what he's been able to do. If I have a disagreement, I talk to him in private.
I think when you walk up there, if you have a pad, you have to write in all caps at the top of the pad, likable. And just look, I do the same thing because I have the same personality. We're both aggressive.
So for all of these reasons, he's not ready for prime time. Not likable, even among Republicans, when, let me tell you, it doesn't take much to be liked by Republicans. You can be a proponent of murder and genocide and hate and bigotry and racism, and you're likable to Republicans. I mean, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, Donald Trump, all of these people are liked by Republicans. So I stand by my months-old proclamation, if you will, that Ron DeSantis is not ready for prime time. I'd love to know what you think, especially if you live in the state of Florida. If this goon is your governor, what do you think? You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'd love to see you there. I am at Dollemore all the way across the board. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Thanks for joining me today. Listen, if you appreciate what I do, if you appreciate my months-long proclamations early, please consider supporting and helping produce my content. You can click the join button below, become a channel member here on YouTube for as little as $1.99 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for engaging with my content. Thanks for your loyalty. Thanks for your viewership, your listenership on the podcast. You guys are likable, huh? You see what I did there? Anyway, I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.